Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at how to either add or subtract algebraic fractions. So let's take a look at this one here. Our process is going to be very similar to when we add or subtract regular fractions. We can't do anything until we've got the denominator the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat it identically. We're going to times that left-hand one by 5, times that right-hand term by 6. And that way we're going to create that denominator of 30 on each of those two fractions. So the left-hand side will be 5x over 30, and the right-hand side will be 6x over 30. So if I am to add this, just like I would with a regular fraction, I'm going to keep that denominator the same, and I'm going to have 5x plus 6x, which we should be able to write as 11x. So there's our process, identical to regular fractions, create the denominators to be the same, and then we're going to bring those top parts together and simplify using our algebraic skills if we can. Let's take a look at a slightly more challenging example. We've got 3 over x plus 4 over x plus 1. We're doing identical stuff though. We're going to times this left-hand side 1 by x plus 1. We're going to times the right-hand side by x, and that way we're going to create that denominator that's the same. Now, we're not asked to simplify, and we are going to leave our answer in kind of factorized form. You can see that the denominator of both of these is going to be x timesing x plus 1, right? So let's just write that out to start with so we know what we're doing. Right, so on the left-hand side, we're going to have 3 multiplied by that x plus 1. On the right-hand side, we're going to have 4x. Okay, so that's our starting point. Now we can bring them together. At the same time as I'm bringing them together, I'm going to expand the numerator of that first one. So 3 lots of x plus 1 is 3x plus 3. And we're going to add it to that 4x, keeping that denominator the same. Okay, and then now we can simplify that top a little bit further because we can bring that 3x and the 4x together. So we're going to have 7x plus 3 all over x timesing by x plus 1. Okay, we can leave our answer like that. Okay, we're just asked to bring them together. I could expand the denominator, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay, let's move on. Let's try a couple more. So, same tricks as before. We're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to times the left-hand one by x plus 1. We're going to times the right-hand one by 2x plus 1. And that way, we're going to keep that denominator the same. In both cases, the denominator is going to be 2x plus 1 multiplying by an x plus 1. So I may as well write that in first. And now I'm just going to work on that numerator. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to be having 3x multiplying by x plus 1. And on the right-hand side, I've got x multiplying by 2x plus 1. All right, so we've done that first part. Now we just keep going exactly the same. So denominator's dead easy. We just have to keep it the same. That's the rule of fractions when we start adding or subtracting. Let's expand those two pieces, right? So maybe we'll start with this left-hand side. That's going to be 3x squared plus 3x. Now let's look at this right-hand one when we bring them together. We're going to have 2x squared plus x. So bringing those pieces together and simplifying. That denominator again can say exactly the same. We don't want to change that, but we will have 5x squareds and we will have 4x's on that numerator, and we are finished. Because I have the denominator factorized, I can actually see a quick factorization on the top, so we may as well do this. So just to bring this together a little bit more, both of those top two terms have an x in common. So I'm going to take out a factor of x as well. And now we are in fully factorized form. I think our final answer is x, 5x plus 4 over 2x plus 1, x plus 1. Okay, let's have a quick look at a subtraction because we haven't done a subtraction yet. In this case, though, we've just got to do identical problems to the ones we've done before, the same technique. We're going to be timesing the left-hand side by x minus 1, timesing the right-hand side by x plus 6. On the left, that's going to create a denominator of x plus 6, x minus 1. And on the right, we're still going to have x plus 6, x minus 1. Okay, and let's deal with the top parts. That's where the thinking starts. So x timesing x minus 1 on the left, and 3 is timesing x plus 6 on the right. Now, as always, we're going to keep that denominator the same. We're going to be having an x plus 6 timesing an x minus 1. Now, be careful here with negative numbers, but let's expand those two sets of brackets. Let's start with the left-hand side. We're going to have x squared and a minus x. On the right-hand side, that one over there, we'll have a minus 3x. And if we consider that minus as part of that, right, I would write this as minus 18, and then there's no confusion, right? Okay, think of the minus 3 outside of the bracket. So if we are doing that, then we can now simplify. We're going to have x squared minus 4x minus 18 all over x plus 6, x minus 1. Okay, we're finished. I hope that helps you to simplify and bring together adding and subtracting algebraic fractions.